Hi, Miss Kincaid. I'm Matt Bars. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So we're just going to have a couple of questions here. I did a video with Mr. Carlson and Mr. Ergo, so this will complete the Board of Selectmen for my journalism project.
Did they do okay?
Yeah, they came out good. They came out real good.
Okay, good.
So the first question would be, how would you describe your first term in office as selectman?
Great. I'd like to mention to you, basically, I came to North Stonington 25 years ago with my husband when I retired from work in the Boston financial area. And I really never thought I would do anything that was related to elections and, politics and all of that sort of thing. But I did get very absorbed in North Stonington. I think to me, it's a very special town, and we're keeping it a very special town, but we're trying to grow it, which makes it hard, etc. So one of the things that happened right before this the first coming into the government here was that I was on a committee that was looking at how we govern the town. There were about 7 of us, I think, and ways we could improve the town, etc. And it was shortly after that we learned that all of the current, the people in that committee and others, that all of the people who had previously run for office and were not going to run again. And so I decided that I would try it and see whether I could do some of the things that I have felt strongly about in town. And there couldn't be, in my mind, 2 better people to be working with than Mike Ergo and Bob Carlson. So we made a very, very good team. And we were lucky in many respects. You probably will recall that the first thing we did after our first 2 months of being on the Board of Selectmen was to have to go through putting through the votes again for the school to move forward and fix both the elementary and the high schools, etc. Yeah. And that was that exciting time. You probably maybe were involved too, of rooting for people to go out and vote, etc. So because we couldn't put the shovel in the ground until that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, that was very exciting because it was one of the biggest votes I've ever seen in North Stonington, about 1,300 and against 600, which was fantastic. We don't get those kinds of votes lately. Yeah. So that was one very exciting thing. And all 3 of us had previously been involved in some way with pushing forward to get that to happen. So the team, was very excited about that. And we had, after that, a number of other things that have been, for the year, the 2 years, have been very good. The budgets. We got the first budget through fairly quickly, which was good. We were, that was the summer right after the school was started. The second one, we didn't get it quite as well because it was a little bit higher and I think people were getting a little bit anxious. So we had to make some changes and go back in again. We did that in less than a month and we passed it. So we did a lot of things together, and all 3 of us feel very strongly about something you're interested in, I guess, which is communication. To me, you can't get very far unless you can communicate really well.
Yeah, so that's been a big thing that they didn't really have before, but now it's kind of growing with the technology that we have and working with the school. I think it's been really positive for the town also.
I do too.
So if there are any, what improvements will you make for your upcoming term as selectman?
Well, I think that economic development is still critical for the town. And I think the majority of people in town that I've known, and I do know a lot of them, really want to keep the town rural. So we have to be careful of what kind of economic development we put in. I don't know if you were living here when they were going to bring Six Flags in, when they were going to do all of these different things to make it, better taxes, less taxes is what I should say. But I think what we want is good economic development. And I think we're moving forward. We've gotten quite a few new businesses this year and last year, new restaurants, and we're pushing hard on those kinds of things. There are other things we have to consider. You know, like what do we need to make it move better so that people won't have to be worried about their taxes or feel like they can't afford to live here.
Yeah. So, what do you hope the Board of Selectmen will accomplish in this upcoming term?
Well, I think we've accomplished a lot, but I think one of the reasons I decided to run again was that there are a number of things that we've started and we haven't, you know, you just don't get it done in 2 years. And particularly when the old saying, the first 6 months you're looking to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that we have, the economic development continues to be a very important thing because that is what drives our grand list and how much money the town has from taxes. And we don't want it to be the same people just having to pay more. We want more people to be involved. And I think we are getting, from what I see even in the village, more people with young families. We're certainly getting some new businesses in town. So I think that that is going to help a great deal. So that is something that is going to be very important for some time. The idea of whether we're going to put in septic or sewage systems rather than septic systems, that's going to be considered too. There are a few things like that we're going to work on hard.
Nice. So, do you see yourself continuing to run for office in the future?
I'll have to wait another 2 years before I figure that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for meeting with me.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you.